My name's Ashley Waters, and I am on Dad Space. So if you're a dad, you should be too.
So we've got a question from one of our Rewind readers. His name's E, and he wants to know if you'll ever get back with the So Solid crew and if you'll ever do a grime thing.
What's up, E? You should put your full name. Yeah, I mean, like, to be fair, I mean, the whole kind of So Solid thing is not really there anymore. The name's obviously still there because it's a part of kind of, I suppose, musical history, kind of in London, especially in the underground scene, so that will never die, but kind of as a group, it doesn't really exist anymore. Everyone's kind of doing their solo things. We've got Harvey pursuing his acting career now as well, and his own music, and Lisa doing the same, and me and Romeo and whatever. So, kind of, I mean, there isn't really plans, as far as I know, to kind of come back as a group and do that. But I mean, when it comes to grime and that, I've been kind of doing that for a while now, so on and off. I kind of try not to stick to one genre of music and to be, do you know what I mean, pigeonholed in that sense. I know every artist says that, but I'm just doing everything.
You're going to be filming this new film with 50 Cent, there's an album coming. How do you sort of balance being a father with having such a huge workload? How does that work out?
It's hard. You have to plan everything, you know what I mean, before you kind of do it. You can't live that spontaneous lifestyle that everyone wishes they could, and that I used to, but now the kids have spoiled it. No, but yeah, it's like it goes hand in hand with kind of what I've bought into. Do you know what I mean? So I can't complain. Sometimes it means I don't sleep. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't eat. Sometimes I do. It's just life. I love to do what I do, and I love my kids. You know what I mean? So the balance has to be found. Simple as that.
So tell me about the sort of first moment when she said, you know, I think I might be pregnant, or...
If I'm honest, I was scared. It scared the life out of me. And not because I was going to be a father, because I thought my mum was going to bust my head. Yeah. Because I was 16 going on 17, or just turned 17. And my mum was very strict. Do you know what I mean? When it came to my upbringing and my education and stuff. So I knew that this wouldn't be something that she would be happy about. And I was right. But, you know what I mean? It's one of those things, what can you do, you know? When my son was born, it changed everything. Changed my life around as well, so it's a really good thing. It's kept me grounded. I don't think without the kids, I'll probably be sitting there talking to you today. I don't know, I suppose having children gives you direction, gives you aims, gives you a reason, I suppose, to have to achieve and succeed in what you're doing, which means that you put much more of your heart into it, do you know what I mean? Most things I do on a daily basis are really boils down to kind of providing for my kids and being there for them. So,
what's your relationship with your father like now? Are you in contact with him?
My father passed away 2.5 years ago, so yeah, so I'm kind of in contact spiritually, but not physically. So.
Were you able to sort of make any amends before he passed away?
Yeah, we had a good time. I took him he died when I was doing the 50 Cent film, and I took him out to the States with me when we were filming, and it's a guy I never really spent time with, but I knew he died of cancer, so he was having treatment at the time, and I kind of took him out with me, and we spent like 2-3 weeks together and talked about everything, do you know what I mean? Obviously, I mean, not enough to kind of make up for how many years he probably went around, but enough for me to understand that he didn't personally try to mess my head up, do you know what I mean? That everyone's got their own thing going on and everyone does things for different reasons. You can't judge people until you actually know what their life was like, you know?
Sure. Well, how about your upbringing? How did that affect the way that you raise your children now?
I think my whole thing with my dad and not having him around, and this could go either way because I've seen people go the opposite way, but made me definitely never want to leave my kids. Do you know what I mean? But I'm saying that, I mean, there's a lot of people that would kind of do the same thing that they had been taught, do you know what I mean, by their parents growing up. So it can go either way, but I strongly believe that, like, I need to be in their life 100%, you know what I mean, regardless whether it's hard for me or not in any sort of way.
And how about when you were doing the prison sentence? How did you cope with being away from your kids then? How much were you able to see them and how much contact?
It's terrible. It's the hardest thing. I didn't get to see them at all because I wouldn't allow my girlfriend to bring them to the jail. But I think I did once, and it was the worst day of my life because I mean, seeing them and then having to go away and not see them, it was a hard thing. But I mean, that it meant just kind of getting my head down and kind of taking it as a period of time to change, you know, and to come out and be a better father, really.
Have your kids inspired you in that way then, do you think? Or in other ways as well, they inspired you?
Yeah, they inspire me all the time. When it comes to my music, everything, you know. There's a track on the last track on this album, on A Waters, is me and them. And my 5-year-old thinks he's a rapper, so he's rapping on the end of the track, and the other two are doing a little bit as well. They're inspirations for a lot of things, like even simple things like getting up in the morning. Do you know what I mean?
Sure. Solid Guy wants to know how old your kids are and what's been your proudest moment as a pops so far to date.
My kids are 8, 7, and 5. Their names are Shayon, China, and Panera. And I'm saying it like I'm forgetting, but I'm not. Just trying to get it right order. Proudest moment, probably as a father today, I don't know. There's loads. Watching my daughter read books probably that I've never read and probably could never read at her age. Do you know what I mean? Watching my son play for Arsenal under 11s, and do you know what I mean? And stuff like that. I mean, you get joy out of that. I've done a lot of stuff in my life, but there's still loads of things I didn't get to do that I wanted to. And kind of having kids, even though a lot of parents won't admit it, is a way of pushing through certain agendas there. Do you know what I mean? Certain goals you never got to accomplish back in the day. So, and I always wanted to be in football, but I could never play properly. So watching my son have the skill and the talent, it's like, yeah, it's a good thing.
IA wants to know whether or not you've introduced your kids to people that you work with. Do your kids get to meet famous people, and how do they feel about that?
Yeah, they're cool. I mean, they're very, very level-headed. I've given them that. They don't go around boasting about, do you know what I mean, who their daddy is or what he does or whatever. They're not really like that. But yeah, I mean, they've been most places with me. They was out in the States when I was doing the 50 Cent film as well, so they met 50 and everything. But to be fair, I mean, they didn't have a clue what the big deal was, or who, do you know what I mean? It was just like another guy. My eldest, my son Shayon, he's been coming to studio with me and meeting singers and stars and whatever since he was like 6 months old. So it's in them, do you know what I mean? And they just take it in their stride.
Would you push them into not push them, but would you encourage them to become actors and singers, or would you want them to get what is so-called a proper job?
There's part of me that says I'd want them to just get a normal job, go college, go uni, get a normal job, do a 9 to 5, because of some of the pressures and temptations that are attached to what I do, you know what I mean? But at the same time, you can't stop a gift. If they've got it, they've got it. So you have to just let them run with it and try and just be there for them, you know, whether they need someone to fall back on or just to push them a bit further.
Do you have any advice for other young fathers starting out in parenthood?
Generally, don't think you can prepare for it. You know, you'll never be prepared for fatherhood. You never know what it entails until you're actually in it. And it's a job that you will be doing for the rest of your life and learning in every day. But I think the best thing to remember is just give your time, because most kids, that's all they want.
Ashley, thank you very much for joining us today. Really appreciate it. Your wise words, and good luck with everything in the future.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.